Sitting in the mess, I am alone. But I am a warrior, a soldier. We know there are three things more important than any other. Knowing when to stay quiet, knowing when to sleep, and knowing when to eat. Never miss an opportunity. So I take my last one before it all begins. I enjoy the hearty platter of food in silence. Empty chairs at my table. That is only from the outside. What others can see. But unlike some, I do not mope. As I eat, I am surrounded by my pack. We eat in silence. But they are there. While I still have a brain to think, a soul to remember, my brothers will always be with me. I do not begrudge the young packs their exuberance, their fire, their passion, their joy. Even the Primaris who tower over me, even they. They drink and eat and are bragging about how many they will slay this way, how tirelessly will be their arms that way. Heh, good. Their elan is high, as it should be. We have been tracking a rock for days now, slowly catching it. I despise the greenskins, as I have seen what they do to the people of the worlds they land. But the young pups love to engage them. No hiding, no skulking, no chasing. They come to us. They throw themselves at us in their droves. It is messy business, but it is somehow clean, and it is exhilarating. It is what we were born to do, what we were built to do, to fight the enemies of the Imperium, of humanity, of the All-Father. So the young bucks brag and bluster as they should. They have much to prove, but they are still Volca Fenrica. They are sons of the Rus. They are death incarnate. They have earned their rights. Will earn more in the coming hours, as none of these are idle boasts. They are like oaths of moment that will be done. Good. They will need all the energy they can muster for this campaign, this battle.
This is not a drill. This is not a drill.
The packs of Primaris jump up and cheer as they slap each other on the backs and charge to their positions. I allow them all their head and finish my meal. Moments later, the last of my repast is gone. I stand and walk through the empty mess and in the direction of the bridge. The doors open to the usual vista, and I see many a grizzled warrior and young buck behind a screen. All lights and darkness. Our bridge is functional. The lights are a dim red, to key the mind and make the displays clearer, which now glare by comparison, centering the officers on their tasks. The captain turns as I enter the bridge. Harald, finally you are here. We close on our prey. This is one rock full of orcs that will not be destroying another of our worlds. We need to end it, and every green skin on board. The packs look forward to the trial. Good, says the captain. They will need to be enthusiastic. This is a big one. It will be more a test of endurance than skill, I'd wager. Pfft, I respond. They will find the will. Heh. A young officer looks up from his screen. Far from the rock. As soon as it is finished, the captain barks back. Damage report. Minimal. Scattershot across all decks, but armor and void shields are holding. It seems they only fired half their complement, sir. They don't want us dead, it seems. I walk to a junior officer and look over his shoulder at the Auspex arrays. There are orcs already outside on the hull of their vessel, brandishing weapons excitedly. I can see a few try to launch themselves at our ship, kicking off from their vessel in an attempt to get to us before the rest, only to float away in space. They forget we are moving through the void at quite a pace. About a score of them will be floating there in the cold and dark until they die, thousands of miles behind us. We are in optimal range now, sir. Fire bombardment cannons. Full spread of heavy magma warheads across the enemy's decks. I watch as our heavy weapons respond, hitting their ship. But instead of punching inside and detonating, like standard armament of the ships of the line, our magma warheads explode on the surface, and a roiling wave of magma washes over their entire hull, burning thousands of orcs and destroying their sensor and targeting arrays. If they have any. It is orcs after all. Damage report. Minimal, Captain. 2% structural damage tops. Keep firing, all guns. Let's not make it easy for them. Harald, time to get over there and start the day's work. Prepare the assault. I nod and make my way to the embarkation deck. The flurry of activity is heartening. Even the menials seem enthusiastic today as they move with rare verve and alacrity. But weeks of relative inactivity in transit can hone the edge instead of dulling it, if they are drilled well. And from what I see, they were drilled expertly. All is nearing readiness. I only have to give the specific words. We can see and hear the effect of our fire on the rock, the orc vessel, through our own shields. It burns in many places now, but not enough. The greenskins will still be teeming when we arrive. I bark out the assignments to the 6 squads we are sending in the first wave in boarding pods. The rest are to board via dropships and land on the rock when the first wave has secured the areas. Terminators are standing by for the decapitating strike on their CNC when we actually find it. Rocks are never uniform and always messy. It may take us days to clear one this big, but as stated, at least it will be a straight fight. No skulking, traps or subterfuge. I board my dropship. I am ready. Time to purge some Xenos filth. Welcome, gentle listener. I am Baldermort, and I wish to introduce you to the forces, factions, and war gear of the Warhammer 40k universe. Today, we are going to discuss the first, but it certainly won't be the last, ship. A spacefaring vessel. The Battle Barge. In my mind, the Battle Barge is the vessel that so encapsulates and displays the very spirit of the grim darkness of the future. Its dark lines and darker purpose, in many cases, they are positively dripping with Gothic and Baroque architecture. Now, let us lean on existing wisdom to gain the crux of the matter before I sum up in due course. To quote, the Battle Barge. The Battle Barge is the largest Space Marine warship and is configured for close support of planetary landings. Battle barges were originally a simple designation during the Great Crusade to refer to battleships under Legiones Astartes control. Today, most chapters control 2 or 3 battle barges designed to deploy a fighting force to planets in a rapid form. Each battle barge is capable of deploying 3 Space Marine companies, plus supplies and support. Large amounts of space are designed to hold launch bays for inter-system craft, and drop pods allowing up to 3 companies to deploy simultaneously. The vessel is extremely heavily armoured and well shielded for breaching planetary defences while also protecting its cargo. It is also a dangerous enemy, especially with boarding actions, but also contains enough firepower to destroy all but the most powerful of warships in close range. Battle barges are some of the most powerful ships the Imperium has at its disposal, due to both the power of the ships and their contents. Constructed with its unique role of low-orbit planetary assault in mind, the battle barge's skeletons were forged from ultra-dense alloy. The rare base mineral can only be mined from the sites of vacant volcanic eruptions, and is further hardened by basalt compression tanks situated on high-gravity moons. The pressurized environment hardens the alloys, ensuring the superstructure is as solid as the doors, protecting the Emperor's throne itself. These inner frameworks were then girded in kilometers of hardened plasteel and adamantium, and edged with thick ferrocrete buttresses that surround the main hull like a reinforced rib cage. Finally, a second and ablative layer of armour was added to each vessel's prow, forging an impenetrable figurehead for the indomitable fury of a battle barge. Protected in the warp by Geller fields, in the Materium battle barges are protected by a group of layered void shields. The shields protecting a battle barge are among the most sophisticated that the Emperor's armies have at their disposal. Segmented into a series of zones, it is possible for an area shield to fail without leaving the ship entirely exposed. Further to this, energy can be siphoned from one zone to another and redirected to where there is most need of protection. In dire circumstances, the ship's energy can be driven up past their normal maximum. This temporarily provides the battle barge with greater protection, but soon burns out the generators and renders the shields inert. The battle barge carries a complement of squadrons of Thunderhawks designed to act as either attack craft or orbit-to-surface transports. The primary weapons of any battle barge are their dorsal-mounted bombardment cannons. Each cannon comprises a series of heavyweight batteries, huge turret-mounted linear accelerators that launch salvos of heavy magma bomb warheads. As the name suggests, bombardment cannons were primarily developed to bombard planets from higher orbit, a task at which they excel. A battle barge will begin firing as soon as it reaches orbit and will continue to rain down destruction on a planet, even as its complement of Space Marines is hurled downwards in their assault craft, clearing a path for their deployment on the ground. Capable of obliterating almost any manner of planetary defences, bombardment cannons will first be directed against missile silos and laser towers, ensuring that the Space Marine attack force can proceed unmolested, before being used to take out command bunkers and shield generators, aiding their swift domination of the planet. On more than one occasion, a single salvo fired into a dense population centre has ended the conflict before it has gathered any real momentum, shocking a world's leaders into seeing the error of their ways, and quickly swearing fealty to the Emperor once more. In ship-to-ship combat, battle barges rely primarily on Space Marine boarding actions. The class maintains a hefty complement of macro cannons, plasma projectors, fusion beamers, and missile launchers designed to overwhelm enemy defences and shields, allowing for boarding to take place. In addition, if all else fails, the battle barge may use its bombardment cannons against enemy vessels. Though they lack the range of a lance, they more than make up for it in raw killing power. Battle barges are frequently used to enact exterminatus. As such, they usually also carry a lethal cargo of world-killing weaponry, such as cyclonic torpedoes and virus bombs. End quote. So, the battle barge is larger than most ships in most genres, yet its primary purpose is not to be a ship of the line, not to blast its enemies to pieces. No, these Goliath beasts are, more than anything else, a delivery system. At over 7,000 meters in length, one could be forgiven for being utterly confused that a mere 300+ Marines are its payload. You would think that this size of vessel would permit multiple chapters to be housed comfortably in their entirety. The reality is that very often these vessels are not just transports. They are like a moving fortress. Many chapters do not even have a home world and are called fleet-based chapters. For these Marines, the battle barge is not only their transport, it is their home. It is where the records of their feats are kept, the secrets that they have acquired, the artifacts they have saved or maintained. It is the place their gene seed is kept, and thus it is the lifeblood of the chapter itself. But even in chapters with a homeworld and a proper fortress, space is required, and lots of it. The Marines train endlessly when they are in transit. Bolter drills, melee, even full actions can be run on the expansive vessels. But more than this, the fact that a single Marine that is left on a ship, sans those who make up its permanent crew rosters, are seen as a waste. For most battle barges can deploy their full complement in a matter of minutes. With boarding and drop pods, landing craft and drop ships, full squadrons of air cover, the battle barge is a thing of dominance that usually undergoes more fire in one engagement than is endured by another ship of its size in its entire career. Yet to the massive voile shielding and ultra-heavy armour of a battle barge, these are but scuffs that show character, easily repaired and of little consequence. The battle barge is as much a sign of the Space Marines as the bolter or power armour. It is who they are. Only in the Warhammer 40k setting is a troop transport as lethal, if not more so, than a proper ship of the line. A huge vessel that is effectively nothing more than a massive armoured box that's only true purpose is to deliver its cargo of Space Marines. For make no mistake, it isn't the orbital bombardment or its chief weaponry. They are, and always will be, its Space Marines. I have been Baldermort, your faithful servant. If you have enjoyed this introduction to the Battle Barge, then please do consider liking and subscribing. But if you do so, then do also remember to hit the notifications button. I would not want you to miss out. If you are a regular gentle listener, then do please consider supporting us on Patreon or with a one-off donation. Both links are in the video description. Yes, honey, BoldCon was exhausting, but the proprietor said that we were the tidiest, most polite bunch he'd ever met, and only one complaint. Yes, dear. Well, I didn't like the lighting. Well, the entry fee was a bit steep too. Now, no matter what you do today, do try to make some time for fun. Toodaloo.